This is the Bottom Line Sports Show with Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn.
Imagine you trade a Chet Holmgren for a Giannis Antetokounmpo.
These guys are athletic as you know what, and you go like, oh my gosh, where's the fundamentals? Where's the pass first mentality? That's not in the league anymore.
And now here's your host, Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn.
What's up, everybody? It's the morning after. I'm still in the garden. Yes, hanging out here. But it's my questions and concerns, and I'll get right to it. My question is, has LeBron James once again reminded us how great he is and his impact on this Los Angeles Lakers team? Now, the biggest thing will be now is, can the Lakers really actually afford to cast him away? Now, don't get me wrong. There's two things operating in this situation. Number one, the Rockets minus Kevin Durant and minus a point guard, they're not the same type of team. I get that. However, there's no Luka Doncic. There's no Austin Reeves. And all LeBron James has done is elevated the play of the others. Hell, I've even seen Bronny James getting the alley-oop from his dad, laying the ball up. But it's moments like Game 3 that really showed us that LeBron James still has a lot left in the tank. And just maybe you really might not be able to write him off next year if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. In fact, you got to start believing that they're going to advance to the second round. And if he continues to play at this level and somehow, some way advance to pretty much right outside the Western Conference Finals, I think the number goes up and LeBron James could potentially be looking at a contract really starting at maybe $50 million a year for at least 2 years. And then the biggest question now becomes the suitors that are around. I had him earmarked going to Cleveland, teaming up with James Harden, and once again riding off to the sunset in his hometown and his state of Ohio. I know he's from Akron. But nevertheless, New York Knicks are out there. Open up the checkbook. James Dolan, make it happen. But I think, obviously, LeBron James has put himself back in a situation with the Los Angeles Lakers that they might have to, just maybe, have to decide to say, we're going to make this thing work between Luka and LeBron moving forward. The next question is, am I the only one or the others that are out there that are called Jet fans seeing what's transpiring? Now, granted, I understand the draft, people tell you, oh, these are the winners and losers. But until players, those college players, hit the field and are playing in actual games and out there on the field, that's the only way any of us will be able to know who are the real winners and losers. But I look at the Jets and I'm seeing what they've done thus far in this NFL draft. They've gotten pieces that look great, and everybody's shaking hands saying, yeah, the Jets, they've been winners. But make no mistake, you still have an issue at quarterback. And I say this with all due respect to Geno Smith. For him to come back to New York when they've set him up not for success, Geno Smith is not a franchise quarterback. The Jets have never had a franchise quarterback, nor do they know how to develop a franchise quarterback. The proof is in the pudding. Last one they had, Joe Willie Namath. But all that this seems apparent is, with all the shiny things that they're throwing in front of us at this draft, they're basically telling you, hey, Jet fans, we're going to punt on this NFL season, and basically we're going to draft our franchise quarterback next year. But here's the caveat to this whole situation. Dante Moore, young stud quarterback out of Oregon, decided to remove himself from the draft, or better yet, he decided to go back to school early when there was all indication that he knew that he would perhaps be the second quarterback selected and knew the Jets had set themselves up to potentially draft him. He wanted no parts of that. And good for him, because what we're witnessing with this Jets team is, once again, next year, draft a quarterback, and somehow, some way, they're going to throw that young man to the wolves. And it's going to be sink or swim. Now, essentially, you're looking at potentially punting on 2 seasons. That's why I got to say salute thus far to the Las Vegas Raiders. Because my next question is, have they figured it out? They drafted Fernando Mendoza, a.k.a. Tim Tebow 2.0. Seems like he's got Tim Tebow qualities. Very respectful, very humble. But the biggest thing that the Las Vegas Raiders have done is they set that young man up for success. And the way they have done it is they went out and got a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins, signed him to a multi-year deal, which obviously you could always get rid of him at any point in time because it's the NFL. But nevertheless, they have allowed him to automatically know you're going to come in here and learn how to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. We're going to give you 2 years. Kirk Cousins goes in, he's going to be the quarterback for the next 2 seasons, and he is going to perform. There is no pressure on the fan base seeing Fernando Mendoza unless Cousins gets hurt this season. And I think that clearly that is the way you have to go about it. But the irony in this whole situation where I'm talking about the Raiders and I started off talking about the Jets, isn't it ironic that the Jets and the Knicks are in a similar situation where, again, the time to be patient, trust the process, they don't want any part of. And it's just the difference is that the Jet fans are being hoodwinked and bamboozled to just believe that this season you're going to have confidence in a guy that you ridiculed, ran out of New York because they didn't have a supporting cast around him in Geno Smith to think he's going to come back and lead this team to the playoffs. I'm not betting on it. But kudos to the Raiders. It seemed like they're trying to figure out, and better yet, have established that they're going to allow Fernando Mendoza to take this season off, learn the speed of the NFL, and learn how to play the quarterback position in a very, very competitive AFC West. Before I sign out, I got to say, it's another day, another opportunity. Yes, I'm talking to the Knicks fans. I'm still in Madison Square Garden. It's an opportunity. Just think about it this way, Knicks fans. If the Knicks win their game this evening, everything and the slate is wiped clean. It's 2-2. They recaptured home court advantage. And now this place right here, MSG, goes back to rocking. And now the pressure will switch on to the Atlanta Hawks. CJ McCollum. Can they stand and deliver at Madison Square Garden? It's going to be a hostile environment. But nevertheless, another day, another opportunity. Talk about it on the morning after. Peace. Follow, subscribe. You know the deal. Peace.